heaven. As there's a powerful certificated class that Reverend Gregory is teaching. It's a foundational class in Science of Mind called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. It's a fantastic class. You will get a lot out of it, and it's sort of a prerequisite for many of the foundational classes. You'll just understand things so much better because you'll acquire those practical tools to help to apply these principles that we're learning. We're also having a Spanish-speaking group that's coming together on Thursday evenings, and they are doing a book reading called This Thing Called You in Spanish. Elaine Yuzuki, our Spanish-speaking practitioner, is leading that, and we are just simply so happy that she is doing this. So maybe those of you here don't necessarily speak Spanish, but I bet you know someone who does, who could benefit from This Thing Called You in Spanish. So let them know. That is Thursdays. It's at 6 to 8:30. Sorry? Oh, it says 6. 12 p.m. It's been changed. 12 p.m. on Thursdays. Right, here it goes. And that, oh, I'm looking at the wrong one to start with. That's what it is. Read the line, woman. Just read the line. If you took a visioning class and you are expecting a certificate, they are at the counter. So just step up and ask for it. It's freshly made, and it's just for you. We also have a full list of activities. There are a lot of things going on that are on our activity table, and they're fuller explanations. So please check out all the other things that are going on. Our newsletter also highlights many things, as does the weekly newsletter, as well as our Spirit Speaks magazine that comes out. So if you would like to donate to those who are displaced by the fires, we are offering a number of different ways to do that. There's a flyer out there, and we have folks that are making regular deliveries to the places where they can use this. So check out what's going on. We're collecting water, diapers, formula, wipes, baby food, non-perishable food, and hygiene products. Those are the things that are needed now. And so I'm keeping a baby this weekend, and you definitely need those diapers and wipes. I'm here to tell you. Now, if you would like prayer for something in your own life, today here, we will have a prayer circle right there at the piano. After our service, please join that circle and speak up about what you are looking for prayer for. So that's following the service. Now, if you're here for the first time, then if you raise your hand, we have wonderful volunteers who are ready to give you a little packet that's going to give you some cool stuff. There's somebody there. Oh, there are several somebodies. Thank you for being here. And check out all of those extra things outside as well. We have a lot of things that are going on. And so if there's anyone else who didn't particularly want to raise their hand, you can ask for one of these at the counter. We want you to have all of the goodies inside. And if you are understanding how everything is going on, you know there's a holiday tomorrow. And so we are observing that at the center. So the center will be closed. And so I invite you to just sit back and enjoy this service. And thank you so much for being here.
Hi, everybody. I would invite you to all close your eyes for a minute and just turn within. Still your mind of anything that is going on from the outside world or what is happening in your day that you have to look forward to. Just take a deep breath. With each breath, remember that you are loved fully and deeply exactly as you are. Every cell of your being is a miracle. Every cell of your being is unique and special and has a purpose, a beautiful, divine purpose here on this planet. You are worthy. You are loved. You are seen. You are heard. You are loved for who you are. You are enough. You are complete. You are loved. I am seen. I am heard. I am loved for who I am. There is nothing I need to change. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. You are seen. You are heard. You are loved for who you are. You are enough. You are complete. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. Yes, you are loved.
You are loved. The whole universe loves you. All of life loves you. You were birthed in love. Your life is an expression of love. Your nature is love. Your essence is love. And so this morning, I remember that one presence that is the presence of the divine, the presence of God, the presence of good. And I remember this morning that that is my very life and being, and it is the life and being of each one of us here. That each of us are divine expressions of that one whole, perfect, complete life. We are enough. We are loved. Not only are we loved, we are love. We are the very presence of love, the very essence of love. Our nature is love, and so we are filled with love in this day, in this moment, in this right here and now, and in all of our doings and in all of our beings. The truth is that our whole life is a love story. Because God is all there is. God is love. Therefore, love is all there is. So regardless of appearances or any stories that we may have made up, our whole life is a love story. Our whole life is a story of the universe loving us, loving us, loving us at every moment, giving us every opportunity to evolve, to step into that magnificence that we are. And so I bless each one of us here this day, seeing the love that each one is, seeing the unique magnificence that each one is, knowing that as we enter into our service today, as we express today in our service, this place is just so filled with love. Anyone walking through these doors is immersed in a sea of love, and it is healing and it is transformational. I am so grateful So, so grateful for this truth. So grateful for the way that love is having its way with each one of us. In gratitude, I let it be. And we establish it together with the words, and so it is. Yes.
Good morning. I have some gifts up here. All right. In the month of January, we traditionally review the first 4 sections of the Science of Mind textbook. And so far, we've looked at the first 2 sections in which Ernest Holmes discusses 2 different aspects of God. The personal aspect of spirit as love, and the impersonal aspect of God as law. All of creation is a result of these 2 working upon one another. Ernest Holmes says that love points the way and law makes it happen. Spirit chooses, selects, declares, and speaks its word, and it's the impersonal law which then responds and brings it into manifestation. In John chapter 10 in the Bible, Jesus declared, "I and the Father are one." And when the crowd turned on him and began accusing him of blasphemy, he then turned it back on them with the question, "Is it not written in your law that ye are gods?" Now that's God with a lowercase g. But whoa, that's a pretty bold assertion. And guess what? Science of Mind philosophy is in absolute alignment with the point that Jesus was making. In the first section of the textbook, these first sections, Ernest Holmes says, man is one with God. Much like Jesus said, the Father and I are one. Man is one with God, and Spirit can give us only what we can take, only what we are receptive to receive. Spirit imparts itself only as we partake of its nature, of its divine nature. We can know God only insofar as we become God. What's going on here? Wait a minute. We're going to become God? Well, it's in section 3 of the textbook that Holmes introduces us to the words mental treatment and scientific treatment. Treatment is the practice, it's the tool that we use when we are consciously and intentionally giving direction to the impersonal law. Science of Mind teaches us that all thoughts are creative, but when we go unconscious and our thoughts are running here and there and everywhere, well, we may not be happy with what our life is looking like. The impersonal, creative law automatically responds to what we believe, the thoughts we think, what we dwell upon the most. The life we create is the outpicturing in form of our predominant thinking, of our beliefs. Being created in the image and likeness of God, we possess the same creative faculty of thought as God does. To the degree that we become skilled and competent in this creative process, the same creative process that God uses, to that degree do we become God, or God-like, if that's easier to handle. Today, Reverend Gregory is going to answer, what's in it for me? But the one thing that I know for sure is that I don't want to rely on luck or chance to give me what I want. I'd much rather become skilled and competent, become a skilled and competent manifester in creating the life that I desire. And a powerful way to do this is with the tool, spiritual mind treatment, whether it's on our own or with the assistance of a practitioner. Please repeat after me. God and I are one. The word I speak has power. What I conceive and believe, I can achieve. Thank you. Okay, let's welcome up Elise and our guest, Abby, is it Posner? It's Posner. Told you it was Posner.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, after unraveling, rebuilding, then rising, I let all my guards down, became more inviting. Never choose fear, lean into the unknown. I'm finally waking up. Yeah, I'm finally waking up. Well, I climbed to the top of Black Mountain and screamed. I was letting go of you, rediscovering me. Ran into a goddess that opened my heart. Now I still believe in love. Yeah, I do believe in love. Close to the edges and close to the bone. It's a training montage, falling into the zone. A false sense of safety in being alone. You're simply not living if you can't let go. Well, in the beginning, I fell to my knees, shuffling from flat, fright, and freeze. The only anchor that I ever known was this piece of wood and 6 strings. Yeah, this piece of wood and 6 strings. Close to the edges and close to the bone. It's a training montage, falling into the zone. A false sense of safety in being alone. You're simply not living if you can't let go. Sit with the anger and the shame. Oh damn, I can't go through this again. Hold me, I need a gentle song for you. I keep holding on. Close to the edges and close to the bone. It's a training montage, falling into the zone. A false sense of safety in being alone. You're simply not living. No! If you can't let go. If you can't let go. Let go!
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Give it up for Elise on the fiddle. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby Posner. Yes, give her some more love. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. You having fun? Yeah. I know I am. Wow. So good to be here with all of you today. And I have something I'm so excited about that I don't want to delay it anymore, because some of you know already that we have a new youth and family ministry director. Part-time, but we know that's going to expand. And her name is Robin Wiley Pratt. And I wanted to just have her come say hello so you can see who she is, and then you can go talk to her afterward and hear what she's all about. So come up, Robin, for a moment. And we're going to, I'm sorry to our sound people that I did not Tell them to make a mic ready. But we're going to use this mic here.
Hello, my name is Robin, and I'm really excited about this new position. I just want to let everyone know I have some exciting ideas coming up, and it's going to really expand our community. So it's going to be a place where you're going to feel proud to tell people to bring their kids, for the mothers and fathers, and we're going to teach the kids how truly special and powerful that they are inside at a young age, so that they can take that with them into adulthood.
All right. Robin is so awesome, and yeah, she is just awesome. She is on fire with she's got a really big vision and big picture of what she wants to do with youth and families. I'm so excited about that. You guys like stories? I got a cute little story to start with here today. There was a couple, and they were living in an assisted living facility. And one evening at dinner time, they went in to have their dinner, and they had known each other. Did I say a couple? Not a couple. A man and a woman. Did I say a couple? I said a couple. I'm giving it away already. A man and a woman. Forget that other part. A man and a woman, and they had known each other for a few years, and they were sitting at the same table at dinner time, and after a while, the man looked over at this woman, and he thought, wow, she is so beautiful. And he got up the courage, and he said to her, will you marry me? And she thought for a few seconds very carefully and said, yes, I will. And he was elated, and and then they talked a little bit more, and the evening unfolded. The evening ended. They went home to be back to their separate rooms. And the next morning, he woke up, and he couldn't remember for the life of him whether she said yes or no. And so he was very distressed, and he was saying, oh my goodness, I cannot remember. Did she say yes or did she say no? And he was really distressed. And then finally he got up the courage, and he said, I'm just going to call her. And so he called her on the phone and, said, hey, that was really fun last night. I really had a good time. And then he finally mustered up the courage, and he asked her, he said, last night when I asked you to marry me, did you say yes or did you say no? And she said, why, I said yes, and I meant it with all my heart. And he was just so delighted. And she said, I'm really glad you called, because for the life of me, I couldn't remember who asked me. One of my tests for whether I tell a joke in public is if I'm sitting alone and I read this joke and it makes me laugh out loud, then I'm like, okay, that's good. That just and even when I was rehearsing it and practicing it, every time I was cracking up laughing. I don't know if that has anything to do with the talk today, but it was just too fun not to share it with you all. So today the topic is what's in it for me, and I would say everything. Everything is in it for us, because there is this one power, this one presence, this one life, this one mind. We say that there's only one mind. There's only one mind. We are all thinking from and into that one mind. And there is a creative medium. There is a creative aspect. There is a law that is an aspect of this mind that we are thinking into. We are putting things constantly into a creative medium. Anyone ever hear about that? Yeah, we are constantly putting things into this creative medium. We are constantly creating whether we know it or not. Whether we know it or not. We are constantly creating our existence. I love all the evidence, especially once you're aware that there's only one mind, you start to really see it everywhere, right? You start to see that there's only one mind. One of my favorite stories about one mind was that years and years ago, I had an answering machine. This is before voicemail, right? So I had an old-fashioned answering machine, and I wanted to get rid of it because I now had voicemail. And so I thought, well, I want to give this away. Someone will probably still want it. I want to give this away. And I thought, I don't know who I'll give it to, but I went to a coffee shop, forgot about it, went to a coffee shop. I'm sitting in the coffee shop, and the woman behind me, this is a true story. This is amazing to me. But the woman behind me tapped me on the shoulder, and she said, "Excuse me, sir, I'm sorry, but do you know where I could get an answering machine?" I darn near fell off my chair. But I said, yes, in fact, I am wanting to give away an answering machine. And this is really a strange story because this doesn't even happen, because I said to her, well, it's at my home, but if you want, you can follow me there and I'll give it to you. And she said, well, why follow? I'll just drive you and we'll both go and then I'll bring you back here, right? This is someone I've never met before. But there was something so divine about the moment that this woman drove me to my home. I gave her the answer machine. She said, thank you. She drove me back to the coffee shop. And that was the end of that. There's only one mind. How many of you had the experience of where you're thinking about someone and then they call you, right? Especially when we're really connected to someone, right? A close friend, family member. There's only one mind. And this mind that we're constantly thinking of is a creative mind. It's creative. It's constantly creating. It's constantly taking what we're putting in and then reproducing it on the outer. Now, really, every word that we speak is a prayer. Every word that we speak is a prayer. We think like, oh, right now I'm praying, and then all these other idle words that I'm using and just throwing out there, let's leave those alone, law. We know this is a law, but leave all those words alone. Only listen, law. Just go to sleep for a while, law. Only listen when I'm doing this thing called prayer and speaking my word. Other times, just go to sleep, law. But that's not how it works. Before the holidays, just recently, before the Christmas and all that, for about a week, when everyone asked me, because I had a week off at the end of the year, right after Christmas, I had a week off. And I was really looking forward to it. I was feeling kind of tired at the end of the year. So everyone who came and asked me, it said like, oh, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? And my answer over and over again was, whew, I'm really looking forward to some downtime. I'm really looking forward to some downtime. I'm really looking forward to some downtime. Are you hearing me, law? Are you hearing me, creative medium, law, that takes my word and makes it real? I'm like, I'm really looking forward to some downtime. Well, before I could get to my vacation, COVID hit. And I got the downtime that I was looking for. Well, not the downtime I was looking for. Our minds are so creative. Our word is so powerful. Our word is so powerful. Let me read a couple quotes from Ernest Holmes from this chapter that we're looking at over here. Ernest Holmes said, the founder of our philosophy, a unity must be established and a conscious connection must be made before we can derive the benefits which the greater mind is willing to reveal or impart to us. In other words, this 2-minute thing, are any of you still doing this 2-minute thing in the morning? Yeah? Many of you are, where you start your day, you get quiet, you get still in meditation for a minute, and then you take another minute where you speak your word, you speak some sort of affirmation or prayer to declare and claim and accept what it is you're wanting. That's what that's really talking about. We have to establish an avenue, right? We have to establish an avenue through which this power and presence can move through us, because it works for us by working through us. Yes, it works for us by working through us. Ernest Holmes goes on to say that when we do a treatment, a spiritual mind treatment, which is kind of like a weird sounding thing if you've never heard it before, right? Spiritual mind treatment. But we're literally spiritually treating our minds. And I love that the word spiritual is in there, because we're not just saying some words, we are consciously communing with a presence within us, So we're spiritualizing our words, right? We're stepping into the awareness. We're stepping into the awareness that there is a spiritual essence in me and all around me. So it's not just called mind treatment, it's called spiritual mind treatment, which means first I am aligning with the presence of the divine right where I am. First I am aligning with my spiritual nature. It's so amazing how powerful we are. It's so amazing how this practice, spiritual mind treatment, is simply our form of prayer. It's affirmative prayer. It's where we know that there's a creative medium. We know that there's a law. We know that there's a something that is constantly receiving the impress of our thoughts, receiving the impress of our word, and then bringing it forth into expression. Once we know this, we say, once you know, you cannot not know again. Once you know that your word has power, your every word has power, then we start to create our lives consciously, intentionally. Ernest Holmes said that trained thought is more powerful than untrained thought. So this is why someone like me cannot go around saying, I'm really looking forward to some downtime, I'm really looking forward to some downtime, without being really clear what I'm talking about. Being very specific of what I'm wanting, because my thought is trained. I've already established that my word has power, and so if I'm going around speaking my word, knowing my word has power and helping to create transformation and healing for myself and others, my thought is trained. As well as many of you who practice this teaching, right? Your thought is trained. You already know that your word has power, and you're taking time to use your word constructively to create what you want to create, yes? Yes. You're already doing that. So we have to have responsibility for this great power that we have. Now, it behooves us even more than someone who doesn't know this. It behooves us even more to be very conscious and intentional about the words that proceedeth out of our mouths. What is it that I am speaking here today? What is it I am saying? What am I saying about myself? If I am doing spiritual mind treatment for a new relationship, right? I'm speaking my word. I'm declaring that I am love, and love is drawn to me, and my perfect partner is now coming in, and this person has all the qualities that match up beautifully with mine. It's divine unfolding, right? That's the prayer, you know? Then when we're in the prayer, we're doing the prayer. But then, when we're not doing the prayer, where we're like, okay, law, like, go to rest now. My thoughts are going to be very idle, and they're going to be all over the place. So, law, go to sleep for a little while. Don't hear these things. And we're like, oh, man, I never get anything right. Oh, God, I don't deserve this. Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. And all of this self-criticism, we just neutralize the whole treatment that we just did. This is why if you go to a practitioner, we're not rude. Did any of you think we were? But when you go to a practitioner, once we pray for you, we stop talking to you. In that conversation, not like all together, like, hey, I'll never talk to you again. But in that conversation, we stop talking to you after we do the prayer. And some people want to start talking. And you're like, hey, you're talking yourself out of the prayer I just did for you. Because they're like, well, I hope this will work, and I hope this. And they go back into the story of woe is me and why I can't have the things that I want to have. So we got to remember that our every word is a prayer, and that our word is powerful, and we're cultivating our word as powerful. And as we cultivate our word as powerful, then we can no longer pretend that we're not powerful. Yes? Yes? We can no longer pretend that we're not powerful. We can no longer pretend that our word doesn't have power. We can no longer walking around saying, I hope, I hope, I hope. Instead, we get to say, my word has power. Say that with me if you will. My word has power. My word has power. Yes. So we begin to recognize and speak that word. And it's so funny in foundational classes, which we're about to have one, when people learn, because in the foundational class you actually learn how to do spiritual mind treatment, you know, the mechanics of it and how to put it together. It's so interesting in foundational classes when people take it and they learn spiritual mind treatment and they do the first treatment and they kind of intellectually believe what we're saying. Like they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to try this because it sounds like it will work. But then when something really powerful manifests, they go like, whoa. It's like, oh, you really meant it that my word has power. You really meant it that I could speak my word and it would manifest into my life and it would manifest as what it is that I am declaring. So what's in it for me? What's in it for you? What's in it is our ability to take such responsibility for our experience, to come into such knowing of our power, of our connection to the one power, that we begin to walk this earth in such a way where we're just speaking our word. That's our go-to. Who has that as your go-to? You know, when something happens, your go-to is I'm going to go speak my word. Yeah? Who has I'm going to go have a drink as your go-to? Or I'm going to call my friend and gossip and complain as my go-to. But we want to maybe have as our go-to, wow, my word is powerful. Sometimes I laugh at myself because once in a while I'll go into that space of like, woe is me and complaining and like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. And then I'll laugh at myself because I'll go, well, you have this powerful word in your mouth that you could speak forth to create something different. So why don't you do that? See, as Science of Mind people, Center for Spiritual Living people, we never have to fret waiting in line, waiting in traffic. We never have to fret that because, here's why. Because that is an opportunity to say, oh, I can do some spiritual mind treatment here. So instead of being like, oh, I wish this line would move, why does he start laying on the horn? Why aren't these people moving? Instead, we could say, what shall I create in this moment of free time right here? Because I've got this powerful word. And one thing we might create, you see, your word is powerful and we're all connected and we're all one. One thing you might create is, let's say, like, okay, I think I'll go for world peace today. Someone laughed, right? Because it sounds funny, right? It does, right? It seems like, oh, well, you're not saying I have that much power, are you? But we are, right? We're saying that your word and my word and all of our word, the moment that the world starts to talk about peace instead of war, starts to talk about that we can create peace and start to believing in peace, is the moment that we will have peace on earth. One of the ways that I found out that peace on earth is possible, who else knows that peace on earth is possible? All right, I'm in good company here. Now, how many of you really believe it? The way I found out that peace on earth is possible is I found out that peace within Gregory is possible. And I was like, well, if peace within Gregory is possible, then peace on earth is possible. So we begin to speak our word. It's like, okay, I'm going to start speaking my word for peace. You know, all of these things that we see in the world are just calling for our prayer. Some people say, I don't watch the news. Well, that's okay. That's a personal choice. But the way I look at the news, I want to know what's going on so I know what to pray about. I want to know what to speak my word for. Ernest Holmes said that there's no one who believes in the power of prayer as much as we do in Science of Mind, in Centers for Spiritual Living. This is how we live. If you come to any meeting here, almost any meeting here, what will it start with? it'll start with a prayer. Almost anything we do starts and ends with a prayer. Almost everything we do as a solution is prayer, because we believe in the power of that word. Which doesn't mean we can control every situation, circumstance, and thing, but it means we can contribute something positive to the situation. It means I can add some more peace to the situation. I can add some more love to the situation. So that's the invitation today. The invitation today is to lift your head way up. You know, as Ernest Holmes said, we should be able to look at discordant fact in the face and deny its reality. A discordant fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. We can all agree it's a fact. But it's not a truth. It's not a reality with a capital R. It's just an appearance. So the invitation today is that we hold our head up so high, we can have the faith and the trust to know that whatever is appearing before me, I have this word that I can speak, and I can begin to speak it into existence, something new. That's the invitation today. And you all are such good practitioners, and I use practitioners as Ernest Holmes did to mean everyone who is practicing the science of mind. You all are such good practitioners of the teaching. So go forth and multiply the blessings. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. We welcome Abney Posner once again here. I got that.
I tuned so I don't hurt you. This is another original. Thank you again for having me. This is so beautiful. What a wonderful community.
There's nothing wrong with the storm that is passing all through your head. It's who we become, makes us close to our suffering. It could be a friend. And we curse and we cry for the rules that we broke. All the songs that we sing, all they start to grow old. But I'm not afraid of changes anymore. There's nothing wrong when she sneaks through your doorways, but cannot show you her heart. There's nothing wrong, oh, when she hides in the yesterdays. It's too soon to restart. And we curse and we cry for the rules that we broke. All the songs that we sing, all they start to grow old. But I'm not afraid of changes anymore. Ooh, ah, ah. Ooh. I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid of changes anymore.
Thank you, Abby Posner. Let's give her some more love. Wow. Thank you for bringing your presence to our community today. We can feel you. We can feel your energy and your essence. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for the ways that you give, and we are still collecting things for the fire, people affected by the fire. We're not collecting clothing anymore because the places have gotten inundated with clothing, and no one's taking any anymore. So for now, at least, until we hear differently, we're not taking any clothing, but all the rest of the things that we put up there on the screen this morning, we are still collecting, and David Pascal and I personally made the first run for our center to one of the centers. It was very moving to go there and see all the efforts that are being put into supporting people in need, and many others have also, every day we have 2 people or more going out to deliver things that you're donating here to the places that are collecting them. So let us continue to be in prayer, knowing the perfect divine right action for all those who are affected, that all people are finding housing, that they're finding their needs being met, that love is greater than anything. Let's just continue to be in prayer with all of them. And thank you for the ways that you're supporting. Yes, yes. So it's time for our conscious giving, and thank you for the ways that you give. We've got many different ways you can give. You can text 424-379-3733, put the amount that you want to give, and like magic, it will be given. And also you can go to the website, redondocsl.org/donate, or you can use the QR code, point your camera at that, and a link will come up and you can give that way, or you can write a check, or you can do cash. And all of you who are online, thank you so much for being with us too. If you got some value from it, please do support us because we have great things that we're doing here, and we're going to do even that much more. Thank you so much. Let's hold our gift in our hand or to our hearts and do our affirmation together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is.
Grateful for the morning, I'm grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is, grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is, God is all there is.
Thank you, Elise Carver and John Louis. And thanks to all of you. If I haven't gotten to know you yet, please introduce yourself and let's talk a little bit. I want to know all of you and get to know each other too, because I find that sometimes I'm starting to get to the point where I know more of you than you know of you. So get to know someone new today, go introduce yourself to someone. That's the kind of community I want to have here, where we really all know each other and love each other, and we'll see each other out at the supermarket somewhere and be like, hey, Redondo Beach CSL. Yeah? Let's do it. All right, let's rise and let's speak our word this morning here. Let's speak our word here. Let's do a treatment together again. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life right now. And that thing that I am desiring in my life, I call it forth now. I release anything that would seem to get in the way. I embrace all that it entails to have it. Therefore, I know it is right now being manifest in my life. I am so grateful. I am grateful for this awareness. I am grateful for this truth. And I am grateful for that it is done just as I have declared. I release it to that law, that creative medium that seizes upon my word and makes it so. And so it is. Yes, yes, yes. Let us sing the peace song. Join hands with your neighbor if that's comfortable. The practitioners, ministers, come up here and join me on the stage.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow to take